And welcome back. It's been an interesting couple of days, and I start off by saying that I did already have an hour and a half worth of material recorded, but I decided to trash it and just delete it because the sound quality on it was so incredibly abysmal that I really didn't want to upload it at all. I didn't want anybody to ever hear it. It was that bad. But now the sound is working much better. And I can give you a quick recap of what I did in that footage that was deleted. First, I had been doing some harvesting of snow. I still do not believe I have enough. And it is a painfully slow process because as you're digging the snow, note that the shovel is the only appropriate tool for harvesting snow. And as you're doing that, if you're doing it on grass, you will eventually occasionally dig little holes that you will fall into, especially if you're running along a long strip of it. And this slows you down. You have to stop and fill them in, otherwise you end up with a landmine of a minefield, basically, of little pits that you're going to keep falling into. So you have to stop and fill them in, and then continue, and so on. And so I took a different tactic here. I went out here to what was a beach area that had a pretty good amount of stone on it to start with, and I filled it in with about 4 or 5 stacks of cobblestone, all the way out to here. And so what I've been doing is I wait until Minecraft decides that it's time to snow, and after it snows, this place is thoroughly covered with snow. I get out the shovel and I run along here like so, harvesting all the snow, all the way down to the end here. And I just keep making these trips back and forth, stopping occasionally to convert the stacks of 16 snowballs into snow blocks. And once I have completed this entire cobblestone area, clearing it, then I will have gained just a little bit over 4 stacks of snow. And so, as you can tell, it's a painfully slow process. So once I had finished up with that, I decided that I was going to finally check out the local caves, or suspected local caves. They were suspected at the time because of underground noises, zombie noises and skeleton noises heard at high noon that obviously indicate something going on underground. So I went down into 4 local underground areas, starting with one that was marked by a 2-high column of cobblestone right here. I explored it, and there's another one over there, and another one over that way, and I think another one further over there. That I explored all of them. They weren't any of them really all that significant. And so I decided to go looking around, and I found a much larger cave system, one that probably qualifies to be called an epic cave system. And so I geared up and I went over there, figuring to gain lots of supplies and iron and coal and so on. And I did, on at least 2 occasions, have considerable iron and coal. At least one of those occasions I brought back of about 46 iron and a full stack of coal, and so on. But also in the process of that exploration, I proceeded to get killed 6 times. Needless to say, I found this to be quite frustrating. And so, after the 6th time, I elected not to go back and try to recover things. Instead, I simply returned here. I decided, after thinking about it, that I was attacking the problem entirely wrong. You see, I have known from my very early Minecraft days that cave exploration and such is not one of my strong points. I'm not very good at it. I almost always get my ass handed to me on a platter. And it's most frustrating. So, I decided that the thing to do would be to attack the problem from a different perspective. Instead of going in and exploring the caves and doing it in the traditional sense, then I decided that I would use my strengths against that cave system. And my strength is either in building or in branch mining. I'm very good at branch mining. I have extracted a lot of resources from my branch mines because I find branch mining to actually be quite relaxing. And therefore I have spent a lot of time doing it. One can witness this by the fact that when it came time to build this long track from the main base to the Gizmos Island base, that I was able to take the iron and gold required out of petty cash and still have a lot left over. I don't think I used more than a third of my reserves for that project. And so, obviously, I'm doing something right with branch mining that I am not doing right with cave explorations. So, I have decided that I am going to set up a branch mine on the site of this cave system, and instead of working it from the very bottom up to the top, I'm going to work this branch mine from the top down. And in the process, I will extract all of the available resources from it and destroy all of the enemies within it. This cave system and its residents have essentially made a complete fool of me 6 times. On this 7th venture, I propose to own the entire system. Now, here is the first sign that I found that there was something down there. And here is the remainder of it. Here's the rest of it. An epic cave entrance, if ever there was one. And I did get a fair amount of it lit up. But as I said, I also got my ass handed to me several times. So, I am going in here this time with the express purpose of setting up a base and establishing a branch mine, albeit an inverted one. And I believe I'm going to start from this level here. I will establish a main corridor, and in fact I will also dig a vertical shaft going up to the surface via ladder. And there will be a vertical shaft that goes down to successive levels. And then this area, I am going to wall it off into a 2 high by 3 wide main corridor, and then I am going to build the branch tunnels 2 high by 1 wide with 2 blocks between each one, just like I was doing a branch mine. And in so doing, I will be able to command control over this entire complex and extract all the resources from this mountain. And so, I will now begin by setting up that base. I believe this is as good a spot as any. Okay. Workbench. And now let's get some storage chests put together. All right. Okay. Okay. Going to have it 2 high by 3 wide, so and yes, I know there is resources here that I'm covering up, but I'll get to them. Because I have a particular weakness for not being able to do the cave exploration the way most folks seem to be so skilled at, I figure that if I attack this thing based on what I am good at, then I stand a much better chance of success. I realize it's somewhat an unconventional approach, but the main thing is that it works, and I believe it will. All right. Well, that is going to have to be taken care of. Let's see, does this gravel go all the way down there? Apparently most of the way. Oh, I'm going to need more cobble than that. Alright, now all I have to do is finish walling this in, and I will create branch tunnels in the same manner that I'm creating this main trunk tunnel. And basically where things need to be filled in to fit the format of a branch mine, then I will fill them in. Otherwise, I will dig it and tunnel it and extract materials just as if it were a branch mine, lighting things up as I go, and basically doing my best to completely own the place by turning it into something that I can beat, the branch mine. And now I'm going to go ahead and finish setting up this main trunk tunnel and get the first branches marked out, and I'll catch up with you when I've got some of that done. And I'm back. I've made considerable progress on the new branch mine at the site of the infuriating Cave of Death. And that's what I call it now, the infuriating Cave of Death. But it's doing quite well as a branch mine. I have so far extracted, I think, well over 2 stacks of iron and over 4 stacks of coal from it. And that's just after having only done, all I've done so far is to dig the main shaft and set up the central corridor on the first level that I'm going to be working. And I've already mined out the first 10 branches. Okay, we're coming up on it here. Okay, here's the entry up here. I like the glassed-in top of the shaft idea. This isn't exactly the X-Lite 9000, but it serves. Each of these glass platforms is where a level of the branch mine will be. And this is the main level that I started out at, and I've dug down for 10 more levels down. And I have, as I said, mined out 10 branches so far. And yes, the bed works very nicely in here. This is very nicely lit up and quite thoroughly sealed off. And I've done pretty good. About 2.5 stacks of iron and almost 4 stacks of coal right now, bearing in mind that I have used about another 3 stacks of coal from this mine to make torches. So it's doing pretty well. And of course, as is my normal practice, branch mining activities will not be something that I will normally include in the videos because it is very repetitive and so on, but I thought I'd include it this time just simply as I'm starting up something new, and it's a little bit slightly different way of doing things. It's my standard approach with the branch mines. The branches they're 2 blocks apart. They are 128 blocks long, with a torch every 4 blocks down the length of it. And when I encounter empty cavernous spaces, I use cobblestone and force them to conform to the branch mine shape. I will be, after I finish this level, and I have not yet decided how many branches I'm going to have on either side of the main shaft, but once I do finish this level, I will go and work my way up towards the surface. Once I've achieved that, I will come back down here and work my way down as far as I can go. I think 11 levels down at about y equals 12.6 is going to be about my limit, because there are a lot of lava lakes in this area down there. So still, I expect this mine to be extremely productive. It already has been quite productive with all this iron and coal. The diamonds I did bring in from my other mine, because given the way I'm working this one from the top down pretty much, I'm not going to be encountering a whole lot of diamonds here, and so I brought some in for tool making. So there you have it. That's about the state of this. It's very good, working good, and I expect it to be one of the most productive branch mines I've operated yet. And this will be something I'll be doing in my off time when I'm not working on something for an episode. And in the next episode, I'm actually thinking that unless Minecraft decides for it to snow 2 or 3 times between now and then, which so far it hasn't, then I'm thinking to be heading up north of the mansion onto that frozen lake and build a passive mob system, because that will be a much more effective way to obtain sheep to dye and shear than chasing them through the wilderness. So that's about it for this episode. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for thumbs upping and subscribing and all that good stuff. Have a great day. I'm out of here.